What's up, you guys? I'm Mike Gallagher, and today we're going to draft a 50K best ball team on Underdog Fantasy. With me to do so is Drew Dinkmeyer. What's up, man?
Not much. Just sweating NBA preseason, drafting best balls. It's that time of the year, my man.
Let's go. We did not hit the nuts this time. This is our third stream. We'll have Clap joining us shortly. We are in the 11 hole. So no Giannis for us today. Should be interesting. Away from what we've usually been doing. I've been in the streets today, man. How's your draft been going?
Good. I'm in a bunch of slow drafts. So I did one industry draft that'll air on Peacock tomorrow night with the NBC Sports Edge people that you helped me out with, and lots of slow drafts on the best ball side of things. Been furiously updating projections though throughout the course of preseason. So make sure you're refreshing and re-uploading if you're using our stuff. Because I would say I'm probably making 15 to 20 edits a day on stuff. So yeah,
let's go. Yeah, it's that time, man. I'm pretty much locked in my house. I'm trying to get a hike soon when I can, but should be pumped, man. We got a lot of basketball on, man. So this is gonna be tough. Watching OKC Thunder, watching a little. Cavs,
I don't have
Sixers.
that one on. I'm hoping your boy Jalen Williams does damage for me because I've got 70% and he's 15% owned tonight. So
all right, let's go. Yeah, he's got bringing the ball up after makes and on inbounds plays. It's so good. Fan and I are going to be fighting over him for who gets to call him his guy. But pretty chalky start. Clap's joining us any second here. We got Jokic, Giannis, Luka. I got Luka a lot today. I landed on 3 a handful of times.
Nice.
What do you? I kind of liked it. Just to talk about that really quick, man. You get put kind of in a corner where because you generally are looking at guard again. There's always a guard there, or do you take the bonus on the front end and hope he comes back, or not hope he comes back? So I found that to be a tricky spot, and those teams have been really weak at wing. For what I've been drafting today.
Yeah, the spot with Luke is tough. You end up, and Claff will talk more about this, but you just end up at that position where you kind of got to reach for the big. And I note that our bigs are ranked lower than they would rank if we didn't have positions on Underdog. Mm-hmm. So Sabonis is our 16th or 17th ranked player, but he ends up being our 21st ranked player because of the center position being devalued. So yeah.
We're on deck here, and I'm pretty sure I know we're going to be in agreement here if we've got to decide between two. Clap is in the house. All right, so we are on the clock. We got LeBron and Cat up top. You guys know where I want to go, but
I'm fine taking
Cat.
Either one. The big thing for the 11 spot for me is I just never take a card.
Yep. Clap, what's up, man? You good with Cat?
I'm good with it. Yeah, you're splitting hairs between LeBron.
Do you want to take? Okay, let's just take Cat. That way we knock that out.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
The Tech Lord might be striking.
You're chilling, dude.
No, all good. All right. Yeah, I'm fine taking Cat. Sometimes I take Cat there. But sometimes, I just take my highest projected guy there. I have taken 2 guards at that turn. And if that happens, you're still okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a grind though. You really need the draft to follow you in a couple spots because that late 3, early 4 turn, there's a decent bit of guard heaviness too. There.
Yeah.
So
it really is.
You can get really kind of stuck there.
I am 13.
I would go Dame here for me.
I'm good, Dame.
Dude, Dame Dalla. Dude, if we had a my guy draft, I would fight you for Dame.
Oh yeah, I gotta fight. I gotta hire some muscle here. I gotta fight Fan for Jalen Williams. I gotta fight you. I gotta fight Dink for Mobley.
You know what that means? That means very clearly you don't really have a guy, Gallagher.
Apparently not. Yeah. I'm screwed, man. You guys just can't snipe me.
What is this? Shams reporting there was a physical altercation at Warriors practice today that has the team considering disciplinary action toward Draymond Green.
Uh-oh.
What did Kuminga do this time?
Come on, let's go podcast. Where's the podcast at?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get it up. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Speaking of fight, we just speak it into existence.
Yeah.
By the way, a note earlier, I think it was from Kawakami. I forget which Warriors beat.
Yeah, it was Kawakami. Yep.
That basically described a Warriors rotation that, when healthy, would be a 9-man rotation that had neither Kuminga or Moody in it.
I could pull that tweet up super quick. While we wait for our pick to come again.
Just for everybody that's really excited about the Golden State Rooks, that's alarming.
Yeah.
Like, is Kawakami good?
Oh, Kawakami's the man. Yeah, here's the tweet real quick. Yeah. So there's a tweet right there. Yeah, leaving out the homies. Not great.
I mean, first off, when have we ever seen the Golden State Warriors only play 9 men?
Yeah.
Second off, they've invested so much draft capital in Kuminga and Moody that they kind of need like one of those two or Wiseman to be really good. Going forward. So how can you not play them?
The real thing is they're never all going to be healthy. Like, they're very rarely all going to be healthy. But it's worth noting, if you're banking on Kuminga playing like 70 games this year, it's probably not going to happen. He's probably going to take some DNP CDs the occasional times that they are healthy, and then he's got to play a lot of minutes when they're down. And I think he will. I think they're more likely to play 10 than 9. So I think there's like a lot of ways that this works out fine. But I would just note there's some risk here, like with these guys. Moody's not really draftable, I don't think, unless you're really, really, really trying to get unique at the end. Kuminga is, obviously, he's going in the 130s or whatever. I have a little bit, but I would say I think we've been a little bit behind generally. And I've been trying to pump the projection to get somewhere close to it, because the market's been higher on him than, as usual, than I would be comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, I started backing off when the whole Iguodala signing happened.
Yeah,
because like, to me, like, a guy like Herbert Jones goes right there, and you have no questions about Herb. You know that he's going to be an instrumental piece of the New Orleans Pelicans. But this playoff schedule is nice for Kuminga, especially on DraftKings. I'd still kind of like want Herb though over Kuminga. But then I look at my exposures and I only have like 4% Herb or whatever, and I'm like, I should probably like change my rankings a little bit.
He's just a tough guy to get excited about for upside. Like, he's a guy that, like, he's great. I think he's great if you have like Kawhi as one of your early scoring wings, because Kawhi is going to miss some times, right? So like, knowing that Herb is just there playing all the time, just racking up volume points, and going to maybe count a couple times a year because Kawhi needs rest, or they have a 3-game week and he has a 4-game week, or different things like that. Like, that's kind of how Herb's probably not winning you the finals. Herb's probably helping get you there, but not a difference maker in that time of the year.
Yeah. I mean, but then there's also like upside pass for Herb. Like, if he can improve his ball handling and shooting, like, be just a little bit like Draymond's, I do think there's a ceiling. I don't think he's completely like just dead.
His minutes are going to be really good, man. They need someone like him on that team.
Oh, the minutes will be very, very good. The thing is, basically, can he develop into like a 45% wide open shooter? Because he's just like, this is the same conversation we were having on the Southwest Division pod, which I think is dropped preview, where we were talking about Trey Murphy. And I love Trey Murphy. It's just Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Jonas Valanciunas, Zion Williamson. There are not shots to go around on this team. Like, there just aren't. Like, those guys,
we're up, guys.
Should be taking 60. Okay,
we're up, and we're looking at Levine, Kyrie.
So this is a spot where I would take Levine or Ingram, because I think you could get really in trouble if you don't.
I'm with that. I prefer Levine by a lot.
But what do you think, Claff? Like, the guy behind us has. I mean, we only have 8 seconds.
I prefer Levine by a lot. Let's want to do Levine. We got 4 seconds.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, like, I just don't want him to take both guards, and he has 0 guards, so he
So that's what I was going to say, is that they're looking at his roster. Actually, there's a chance that he could. So that's what I was about to back off on, but just generally,
there's
Fox,
Harry, guard.
Really,
yeah.
So now, like, that sucks. We have to take Ingram now.
Yeah, which I think is fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of like Kyrie versus Fox, I kind of like Fox over Kyrie. I know that we have Kyrie slightly ahead in our rankings, but we did a piece on the schedule, on the best ball playoff schedule that's up on our site. So if you buy the draft kit, you can get that, you can read that, and we've got it split up into Underdog and DK. And so like if you look in the UD section, there are 9 teams that have 8 games on the Underdog finals, and one of those 9 teams is the Sacramento Kings. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets are right there. They have 7. So you're getting one more game off of in the finals with Fox instead of Kyrie. And you're getting one more playoff game too. The only challenge is that from a raw perspective, Kyrie is going to score more per game. So, I mean, that's why we have Kyrie ranked a little bit higher, but you do get the games played advantage, and you get to stay away from some of the downside of the Nets when you go Fox over Kyrie. But not a hard stance I would want to take. I would just want to lean, but I wouldn't want to have 20% Fox and 0% Kyrie.
Yeah. We have a question in the chat that says, what's the equivalent to 0 running back builds in NBA? And I think it's an interesting question. We always try to compare stuff around fantasy basketball to fantasy football, because fantasy football is more, commonly played and more well-known. I think I've made the comparison in real life NBA that the running back position is similar to the center position in real life NBA, meaning that there's a few guys who matter a lot. It's less so that in the NFL. And then there's most guys that are just replacement level, and you just don't want to overpay for replacement level. In best ball NBA and fantasy NBA, it's a little bit different, because those few guys can separate. It ends up, the center position or the big position can end up being a little bit more like the tight end position, where you have a few guys that really separate from everybody else, the Kelsey, the Andrews, the Jokic, the Embiids, and the rest end up being guys that you're just trying to piece stuff together. Now, their opportunity increases a lot at the center position if you run into an injury and you get a backup center, but the ceiling is not the same. The ceiling at the running back position can be the same with a backup running back that walks into a big role, but it's not quite the same with the center position. Nobody's replicating Embiid or Jokic on a weekly basis if those guys are reasonably healthy. In NFL fantasy football, you can run into matching up a week with CMC or Saquon or whatever with Jeff Wilson or some running back that gets into it in a ton of opportunities. So I think center is the closest, but not.
Yeah, what Khalil Herbert did 2 weeks ago, that has a 1 in a million chance of happening in NBA, where a guy puts up that kind of score, getting in that late. So
I mean, I think that the closest thing to the comparison I would make is wide receivers compared to guards, because you do have situations where you can take a guard late. It's not going to be like Khalil Herbert, but it's going to be as close as to Khalil Herbert as can be possible, because there are some high rates players that are at the end of the draft, and if they only get the playing time, then they are going to perform and they are going to count. I had some campaign count for me down the stretch in DK last year when Chris Paul was injured for a little bit, and it wasn't in the finals, but it was in the semifinals, and it helped that team advance to the finals. So stuff like that.
Basically, it just can't happen at wing. It can happen at guard. It can happen at big. It can't happen at wing.
It can't happen.
And so, if you're playing seasonal basketball and the positionals are different from Underdog, it can happen with centers. It can happen with point guards. It can't really happen with the wing players.
And that's why you probably, don't want to take 8 wings on a team. I mean, 7 is viable, but not ideal. All right, we're getting close here.
Yeah. We know who we're taking. So we got
this guy's got to be taking RJ Barrett at this. I mean, 3 guards.
Yeah, he's got to take a wing. Yeah. We got a couple options here. I'm good with that. I'm sure we're on the same page for when we come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want Desmond Bain?
I would take Jamal Murray and play the ADP game personally.
Okay. Yeah. True. Let's do it.
I would take Bain.
Yeah. I'm good with either one. Oh, you can make me
so I think it's fine either way, but I mean, I think it's fine either way. I think there's a chance Jalen Green goes before. But I think it's fine either way.
I think Murray's ceiling is a touch higher. Let's do Murray.
Okay.
Play the ADP game. Cross our fingers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you're getting one of Bain.
I think Peterman is watching though, so he might snipe us. Yeah.
And that's a schedule thing for me as well. Like the Denver Nuggets get 6 in the finals, they get 19 overall, whereas the Memphis Grizzlies get 8 in the finals and 21 overall. So like he's going to have a 2 games played advantage over Jamal Murray in the finals.
Goon Squad. He's got to take a wing here, right?
I think Wiggins, you would think here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we might be all right. Come on, Peterman. Wiggins,
ADP game wins.
ADP game. All right. So our going wing worked out last time.
Yeah, I mean, we did. I mean, we could have taken Wiggins there had we taken Fox.
Yeah. I like this outcome much more.
Chris Smith asks, are any of you doing a high stakes on either site? If so, do you change your strat at all? High stakes best ball. I have not done any on the NBA side of things. Claff, have you done any, and would it adjust your strategy at all?
So the only possible contest that he could be referring to would be the 5-5-5 on DraftKings. That's a 200-man field. It's 20K up top. There's 8 persons in a pod, and there's what is that? 8 divided by 200. That's 25 pods, right? I have not done that yet, but it's not filling very quickly, and there's a good chance.
I'll probably try to get one of those in.
I'm definitely going to do at least one. I'm keeping my eye on it because if it overlays, I definitely want to attack that contest. And yes, I think that my strategy would change if I was doing that contest because, like when you're doing like 3-mans and stuff, there's a premium on tight ends. So like the positional scarcity changes, like because like Kelsey matters a lot because he's a much higher than like the replacement cost at his position or who your competitors might have. And so you want to push up like I would want to get like a very high quality center, and like on DraftKings, like there are not too many of those. So I want to make sure that I'm walking away with like a pretty good quality center in that probably like first round or maybe like the second round. So it would change because the positional scarcity would change. And I haven't done one yet, but the DK 555 is not filling fast, and I do plan on doing one.
You're saying the positional strategy changes between DK and Underdog, but does it change between buy-in entry levels as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like you put a more premium on floor in a 200-man field than in a 20,000-man field, because you do want to get out of your group and you don't have to hit the pure nuts to win. So like something like you guys took the 3 QB build in the Mastiff, and I think that strategies like that are way more viable in the DK 555 than in the DK5 or the Underdog 5, because you don't need nearly the ceiling that you do to win the first prize.
Yeah, makes sense.
Anything you notice on the board that looks interesting, Claff?
Yeah, so LaMelo and Trey kind of went early there. That was interesting. Ja went before Harden. I would never in 10,000 years draft Ja Morant over James Harden personally. But
the playoff schedule, but still the Philadelphia 76ers. I will say I docked Harden a little bit today.
Okay.
It didn't move him in the rankings. It just moved him closer to Durant in that next group.
In terms of the rates or the minutes, or
the rates, the usage rate, I just docked a little bit more. Just as we're getting, like, even in the preseason, Maxi's holding his usage rate a little bit stronger than I anticipated, so I just started shifting a little bit more back towards Maxi and away from Harden.
I saw that
Maxi can't miss now.
Yeah, that was an insane stat. Like from the StatMuse had a tweet about like he had assisted or scored in 22 points in 7 minutes or something like that.
That was a game without Harden and Embiid in the first one. But tonight, like in Max, I mean, if Maxi shoots 80% from the field all year, he deserves all the usage he can get. The guy's been on fire in the preseason so far.
He's a great player. I mean, Philadelphia.
Yeah. We got a chest-to-chest interaction with Jordan Poole escalated, and Green forcibly struck Poole. Oh baby, there's your answer.
Well then,
so he might get suspended for the first couple games of the season.
Yeah,
by the team.
We'll see. I don't know. It may not be. It may be like a game. I don't think
they
would do much.
Were they fighting for extension money?
I mean, I don't think they're going to spend on ring night. That would be brutal.
Yeah.
So the rest of the board seems like it's going as expected. Rozier has really climbed up in ADP since we published our rankings.
Yeah, that's our fault.
Go figure.
Yeah,
that's our fault.
All right. Well, we could get in a chest to chest matchup with the guy at the top of the board here. But we got a couple picks to go.
I'm interested to hear, Claff. I also bumped Miles Turner a little bit, not that he'd be in this range, but I'm interested because I get in these spots here where I tend to want to like keep my distribution somewhat even between wings and guards and bigs early on. And so we're in this spot here, Claff, where it's going to be we're at 3-2-1, and a lot of the top guys are guards on our board.
Mm-hmm.
How stretched are you willing to spread yourself? Like, is a fourth guard too much early?
So we're up.
For me, absolutely not, because we can kind of fix our composition next pick. We're going to be picking 2 picks after this. Okay. And you're getting that ADP value on Jordan Poole. You know, he's going
with the great playoff schedule as well.
Yeah.
So sounds like we're in an unanimous agreement here. Let's do it.
I think so. Like Gallagher and I bet him for 6th man of the year. After that news came out that Tyler Hero might start, and the other guys that are on the board are like Simons, he's going to start, and there's a couple others on the board that are actually going to start as well. So like, who are his biggest threats for 6th man? I mean, if Hero's going to start, then he's not eligible for the award, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I mean, what are you looking at, Clarkson or one of those types?
Yeah, it could be Clarkson. OG or Sadiq Bey, or you want to take Jabari? We know Jabari has been rising in ADP. ADP value is there. I'm down to take your man, Claff. You want to take Jabari?
I would argue for Jabari Smith here. You're getting that ADP value. At this point, like we're counting on Levine and Ingram.
We got 7 seconds. I'm good with that. Think you good with that? All right.
Yeah, I don't think there's a big gap between the 3 wings that were at the top of the board there. So like, no issues for me.
And like, we don't know, and like lean into uncertainty. Like we have wider uncertainty bands on rookies than on like 10-year veterans, so there's a chance that Jabari wins rookie of the year, and there's a chance that he is he's able to take more shots than we expect him to right now. We have some concerns given like how he played in the summer league and everything. But I mean, if you watch the guy in Auburn, he's very raw, but he's a very gifted scorer. He can shoot over people, and he's very tall, and he can shoot well from the outside, and I think that like the ceiling on that is very intriguing for the end of the season. And it's another thing where playoff schedule. The Rockets play 8 games in the finals. They play 21 total playoff games. The only team that plays more total games in the playoffs is the Oklahoma City Thunder, and only like 4 guys are draftable from that team, and we don't know if they'll be tanking or not. So you're talking about one of the only 4 teams, Houston, Memphis, Philadelphia, and Sacramento, that play 8 games in the finals and have 21 overall in the playoffs.
I'll add 2 things. One, Jordan Poole's still like 5-1 for anyone listening from what I saw today. And 2, there's so many paths where Jabari just cleans up, gets a lot of center minutes. We know he's like 7 foot now as he keeps growing. I thought having more structure in the preseason game looked way better than this free-flowing, I want all my shots kind of structure they had in the summer league game. And with his skill set, with the shooting, I think that they kind of rein him in a little bit. I think he could really fit that role, and they can just play so many minutes and play big rebounds in a system we want. We want this up-tempo, terrible defense system. So, I think that Jabari is well worth it.
We have the first team that's eliminated themselves from competition.
Oh, we do?
Because we only have Cat?
No. The player drafting out of the 6th spot has now taken 4 bigs through 8 rounds.
Oh, God.
They are eliminated.
They're done.
And Russell Westbrook in round 4.
Oh, man. And that's
friends don't let friends draft Russell Westbrook in round 4.
He's got more. His team is. I got more weapons. He's got more centers than everyone.
I mean, maybe we shouldn't be, in this day and age, mocking someone online who has a username that says more weapons than you think, because they might find us. But bad draft.
I mean, could you guys believe that press conference? I had to watch it like 3 times and like ask myself if it was altered or not. Where Plasky is asking Russell Westbrook, how does it feel like to play for a team that doesn't want you? And he didn't like dodge it. He's like, like there's a lot of times when you work for a company in the real world and they don't really want you, but you work for them anyways.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Russ is an amazing human being. I mean that genuinely. Like, I've not been the biggest Russell Westbrook fan as a basketball player on the court, because I think his athleticism is incredible, but I think like he just doesn't contribute to winning as much as he should based on his skill set. But he's an amazing human being, and by all accounts, an awesome teammate. Like a lot of, outside of, I guess, Reggie Jackson, a lot of players have really, really enjoyed playing with Russ. So.
Yeah, and I like the person Russ. Like, I'm taking him lower than ADP in best ball, but like in terms of like the person and the competitiveness, like, and the swagger, like I'm totally a Russ guy.
So we're going to be in a big squeeze based on the way the board is drafting. I mean, the good news is we got Cat, so we're like, we're relying.
That was a great pick. The 2 guys in front of us only have 1 big as well, Rudy Gobert and Mobley. And the fellow behind us has 2 bigs. So I don't want to get caught up in a situation where we're like forced to take a guy way ahead of ADP, because I hate being in those situations. But so like,
we could go we can go whoever here, 4-3-1. Probably lean wing on one of the 2.
I think between guard and wing we're probably fine. I think, let's see, the bigs around here are the puncher.
Oh man. I mean, okay, there he goes. I think it's a spot where I honestly feel like you just keep leaning into guards and wings. You can make the case for Adams, but like I think you're going to get someone comparable to Adams the next turnaround. You might double punch the next term. So I would go Brogdon here. I think Brogdon has huge upside.
I'm good with that.
I'm absolutely in agreement with Brogdon here. And, the room's kind of forced our hand. At this point, we're looking at a 4 big build, which is fine. 4 big builds can win. But I think that given that we're now 10 picks in.
Talk me through that. Why do you feel we're in a 4 big build?
Well, let's wait. Let's wait on that. We're not taking a big here for sure. So why don't we do that after we pick, just so we don't get crunched. What do you? So we're probably leaning for a forward here, right? Or, I'm sorry, a wing.
Yep.
You know who I want to take.
I feel very good about this board, so I'm not really concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good with him too, Gallagher.
Okay.
There's a massive ceiling there as well.
Yeah. So let's see if he goes. Couple. Let's see. He's got. Okay. So you guys go PJ.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So it worked out. We got another fourth wing. That's really nice. Yeah. We're just our market. He's not really getting steamed up too much. Or like Rozier is. I've seen Hayward go a little bit earlier today. So getting PJ where he's at is. I mean, I love it. After 100, I'm so down.
You love to see it on Hayward. There were some concerns with his health, but he came out and said, hey, I'll be fine. And then the coach says he's the healthiest he's been in 2 years. You love to see it because they're really going to need him without the Miles Bridges minutes. Somebody's got to fill that role. And if Hayward can stay healthy, we know what we can do when he plays. So that's a guy that, and he's going, by the way, 50 draft spots later than he was last year. Last year he was going around 50, pick 50. Now you've got minus Miles Bridges and 50 ADP spots later because of the health concerns last year and the problems he had staying healthy last year. So to me, he's healthier than he was last year. He's going 50 spots later than he was last year. That's a guy that I want to be substantially overweight.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're really thin there, man. They did nothing to help themselves there.
I wanted to get back. I wanted to get back to that
center talk.
That four big thing. Because I might have a different take here, Clap, but I want to hear your thoughts on why you think they're pushing us to 4 bigs.
Well, it's about like what we've invested in the wing and guard positions. Like we are absolutely stacked at those positions through 10 rounds. And so the question is, well, if we get in a situation where Cat gets hurt, we have some health concerns with Cat. Like we want to be sure that we're plugging in like some pretty good scores. And so like having more people to kind of throw into that mix kind of helps a little bit. And like, it could be a situation where they keep on taking bigs. and so like when it gets back to us, like, maybe some guys are going 20 spots ahead of ADP. It depends. I mean, like, I don't think we're locked into a 4 big build at this point, but I don't think we should rule it out either, depending on what happens.
I would agree with that. I think we're locked into a 3 big build. I don't. So sometimes I think when you start with like Cat or Jokic or Embiid, you can go 2 big builds. We talked about that on the first edition of these that we did, where I think it was Philly Dilly who had Jokic first and ended up with a 2 big build and just loaded up on guards and wings. And as Chris notes in the chat, if Cat gets hurt, this lineup is dead. No, isn't it better to treat it that way? That's kind of the way what I'm thinking essentially is like, you want depth to be able to fill in the weeks that like if Minnesota has 2 games or something like that. But if Cat like gets hurt for an extended period of time, we're probably in a lot of trouble regardless.
Yeah, but if he gets hurt for like a month and then like you're on the fringe of the playoffs and you had somebody that you could plug in and then you're in the playoffs, and then he's healthy in the playoffs, then you're cooking with gas.
Yeah. But I think you let it come to you in terms of the value here, but I'd be fine if we end up with 3 and loaded at the other positions still too. Because one of the things about that is like you have to think about, yes, you're always thinking about trying to build the best team that you can build for you. But there's some credence to like, you don't want to take a 4th big or like a position that you need that's really weak and let somebody else in your draft get another good player that adds to their score as well. So I think probably locked into a 3 big build, but would let the draft happily let the draft come to me. Yeah.
If we can get 2 kind of like past ADP picks on big, I think we're fine with 3. I agree on like not on like punishing them for taking big by like taking the ADP values at guard and wing.
Yeah.
That's my only take is I think our last pick is for sure a big. And then I think we let the board just dictate because when I'm doing draft, there's so many bigs I want to take in the last round.
I mean, there's a lot of, and that's why we dock for positional scarcity. Because like at the end of the draft, there's like 4 guys you're comfortable, maybe even more, that you're comfortable putting on your team. Whereas like on DK, it's a wasteland, dude. You're talking about like Mark Williams and Thomas Bryant and like that kind of stuff. So,
so like I would happily take Zubats here, for example.
I'm good with Zoo, or I prefer Daddy Class because I'm a psycho like that. But I'm good with that if you guys want to.
My vote here would be Zoo.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Monty Morris or Zubats.
Yeah. I think we got a better chance at Monty coming back than Zoo.
Let's do Zoo.
Peterman. I think
he's at 5 guards behind. He has 5 guards already. So
Monty's gone, man. There's no way. Yeah, because like Peterman, all right. Well, now, so I would take. Go ahead.
I would be fine with Dort or Kuminga here with the schedules. Clax, like to me, is fine, but Isaiah Jackson and Hardenstein have a chance of coming back too, and those guys I'm just as good with Clax on. So it would be Dort or Kuminga for me.
It's Gallagher's boy, Lou Dort. This is the schedule pick 822, and plus Dort, like on a per game basis, was awesome last year. Like legit, he produced like on DK, like he probably justified like a $6K salary or something like that. And Chet got hurt, so there's no like rate subtraction. It's the same crew, they're running it back. And what if they don't tank? I mean, maybe they tank, maybe they don't tank. I don't really know what to do that, but I know that Dort has a lot of upside at pick 134.
Yeah, exactly. Like picking a tanking team at 134 versus picking a tanking team at pick 20 is like a whole different thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, and part is like, so know your room. So like Monty Moore, like I knew that he was going to pick Monty because he responded to one of my tweets today, so I know he follows our stuff. And we're way higher than ADP on Monty.
Yeah.
So that could have been like, if we wanted Monty, well, take Monty there, and then maybe he takes Zubac, and then you don't get a big there. But you have to be okay with not going big. You have to be okay with taking like guard or like guard wing there if you pass on Zubac. But I feel good about this draft. We have Dort, who's got we've got a lot of guys that are playing hefty games in the finals, in the Underdog finals, and we've got a lot of upside packed into this. We're a little bit fragile at big, but that's
it's fine when your first round pick is a big.
Can I ask you guys about Cat? Because I listened to you guys talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves with Justin Fan, and Fan was saying things like, well, he's going to be playing away from the rim, so his field goal percentage is going to decline, and his rebounding percentage and his block percentage will decline because he's playing away from the rim on defense. And like, those are things that would impact his like point per game fantasy production. Are you guys concerned at all? Or Gallagher, like you sounded like you weren't concerned too much when he mentioned those things.
So I'll tackle the scoring. You could get, and I'll get blocks real quick. So he's going to shoot a lot of threes. So I think that the field goal percentage is going to dip, but he's such a good 3-point shooter that his true shooting is going to hold. And I think he's going to be able to draw a lot of fouls with the face-up game that he has. So I think his efficiency is going to be fine. That affects him like season long, but like as far as his scoring per usage, I think he's going to be good. He already kind of shifted away from the basket last season when Vanderbilt. So I think it's kind of like double counting where like, okay, he already lost that role a little bit last year. You don't want to impact it too much. I think it decreases a little bit, but I don't think it's going to like completely disappear. And then what do you think? I think the board, I mean, they're going to play fast as hell. So I think it'd be able, if you want to talk about that thing, the boards.
Yeah. Can you scroll down so the people can keep
sorry about that.
Here? Yeah. So I will say on the projection side of things, I haven't adjusted any of the field goal percentage expectations because it's like I need to see it before before I really deal with it. The other thing is they could just end up staggering him a bunch too. So we'll see. Like I know one thing, Minnesota is going to rebound the ball better as a team than they ever did before when Rudy Gobert is on the floor. Like look at how well Utah rebounded and look at who their 4-man was. Royce O'Neal, right? Royce O'Neal's like a guard's body, and Utah was one of the best rebounding teams in the league. So I have bumped Minnesota's rebounding expectations as a team, which has held Cat's kind of rebound expectation, even though he's playing the 4 more, because I think they're just going to rebound better as a team and collect more rebounds in the hole. And so I don't like Vanderbilt was a very good rebounder too. I think he's going to be okay. I think we have him lower than last year in terms of our overall ranks, but like not a ton lower. And I think that's probably right. But the bigger concern is like, this illness that he just had, they lost like 20 pounds or whatever. If that impacts how he starts the season, and it impacts like his aggressiveness overall. Just like if it takes him time to get going in the season and they establish some other offensive identity that isn't running through him as much, that's my bigger concern with Cat. But like where he goes in these drafts, it's like positionally, I think he's still at the right play.
Yeah, I feel good about him being the crucial part of the offense because like I mean D'Lo had that opportunity last year and I didn't really see it as much from him. So I do think that their offense will run through him. So I do feel good about that. I just worry about like the rebounds and the blocks. But that's
sniper.
A really good point. Okay, let's talk more later about him.
Sniped on Hartenstein right in front of us. You know who I want to take.
So Claff,
be our 7th card. We'd be done.
Give your take, Claff.
So my take would be to take Markelle Fultz because of ADP value.
Ooh, we'd probably be done with guard then, right? I'm good with that.
I don't know. What do you think, Dave?
We were going to run out of time, so it didn't matter what I thought there. I would have been more leaning in the direction of maybe taking a wing, just because I'm a little bit like 4 is a little thinnish. So like Hardaway and Drummond would be on my list here, just positionally to look at. I feel better. I feel better about a late round wing than I do a guard or than a big, but Gallagher seems to feel the other way. So
yeah, how do you feel about? I'd be down for.
I would not take him here. I would not take him here.
I would take either Bruce Brown or Tim Hardaway Jr. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I'm good.
I'm fine with either of those. Like, I think Brown has a really high ceiling too. So I'm fine with either of those guys. But I think you need the fifth wing there.
Yeah,
you definitely do. Yeah, but like I thought one of those guys would come back, and like I think they're fairly interchangeable. Like Hardaway versus Brown. Hardaway has the better ADP value. Brown, I really like as everything you guys said on that Denver podcast with Fan. I'm in on. Like I'm 100% with you guys on there. I think he's like very valuable to this team. Like he's the first man in if anybody gets hurt. He's going to play very well with Jokic. I think his game like gels really well with Jokic. So like, I mean, I like it. And he was a beast last year in Brooklyn.
Do you think that having Jamal Murray is a positive then? Because maybe while Jamal's ramping up, he's crushing a little bit more? Or do you think it's kind of like taking away some ceiling?
Yeah, I think Bruce is a low usage player. Like he's going to get a lot of his stuff like near the rim, and like defensive stats and just minutes played is going to like, rebounds and assists will come through that. So I really think that his path to ceiling will come towards earning substantial playing time, which will either involve them either phasing out some older player like Jeff Green or an injury. But like that's a player that somebody who's productive at this point is who you want to bet on. I think he's more productive than a guy like, say, Kyle Anderson, who his ADP is 15 spots. It's 10 spots ahead of Kyle Anderson. But those are the types of players that I'm looking at late in draft, like ones that are guys you would play in DFS. They are like high points per minute kind of players.
And you just hope you distracted attention. I'm trying to figure out if I can late swap something here.
Yeah. You just hope that you kind of run good in terms of the opportunity. Like, how like sometimes like Leonard Fournette and Devin Singletary are like perfect examples last year in best ball where, okay, well, good situation, ambiguous backfield. If they get the opportunity, we don't know if they will, but they can perform. Well, Bruce Brown, same thing. Like if he gets the opportunity, we know that he can do something with it. Whereas some of these guys like, like I mentioned Kyle Anderson, like we kind of know what Kyle Anderson is. Like he's fine if you need Kyle Anderson, but we don't need Kyle Anderson given the rest of the guys that we've drafted. So take Bruce Brown.
Yep.
There are no swaps to be had, sadly. One game left.
Playing preseason.
I have two teams that look really good, but they have the same two guys left, and it's like if I can pivot to two other guys that are even reasonable, I should do that, but I can't. There's nothing to get to.
I probably should be grinding preseason, but I've just been like grinding the proverbial cock off, as Levitan would say. On stuff.
Dude, when you can grind $2.75 of EV at a time, you do what you got to do, as opposed to 10K to first slates in preseason, my man.
Yeah, I completed my small ball portfolio today. Got the 150th team in.
It's impressive. I don't think there's going to be too many people in that bucket that are getting.
If the season starts tomorrow, I'm ready. Not that it would, but now, so if you're thinking about entering the 5, you don't have to worry about FAQ anymore. Go in, fire. I am still trying to get some more exposure in the double dribble and on DraftKings as well, though. And then I do want to hit the 5-5-5 before the season starts.
I mean, Claff, if you are in need of extending yourself on the best ball side and you want investors, I am ponying up cash. So, you let me know. You let me know what you need.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah. I am happy to invest.
Awesome, man.
Possibly you.
Little and one from Jalen Williams. Very happy. Thank you. Let's go, Jalen.
The good Jalen?
The Jalen. We're not even calling him the good Jalen anymore.
Oh, God. Hey, I started taking him after good Jalen, bad Jalen. Today. Oh, brother. I love it, man.
All right, we're 2 away. What's the board looking like now?
Anthony Davis will not play tonight due to lower back tightness. Oh my mother effing God.
Shit.
Okay, so Pink's going to switch to the board, Gallagher.
Do we just take Thomas Bryant now?
Yeah, Gallagher, switch to the board.
Sorry. My bad. Sorry. Oh, you know who I want to take?
Yes, and you can take him.
Okay.
This is why I said not to take him last time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. My enthusiasm in the last round is just terrible. Like, I'm just jamming. This guy has to take a guard. He better not. All right.
Yeah, there it is.
Top player on the board. Let's fucking go.
That's right. And it's a schedule play also on DraftKings. It's not really one on Underdog 7 and 19, 7 in the finals, 19 overall, but on DraftKings, 8 in the finals, 22 overall. There's concern about tanking. Popovich made a reference to that before the season started, and Sochan is going to be a guy that benefits in that scenario. So, and we he's a top value on our board as well. So, very happy to get him in that situation. This is going to put us into big for our last pick.
Yep.
16. So we didn't go for big, which is fine. The way that the board kind of turned out, I feel very good about the wings that we have. So we have Mason Plumlee, Kevin Love, Barolo, Boucher, Okongwu at the top of our board. Gallagher, do you want to get spicy with any of this?
I want to take Okongwu.
Okay, I'm good with Okongwu. I mean, there's a path to upside. He was a high first round pick. If Capella gets hurt, maybe they trust him a little bit more than they did last year. Mason,
think you're good with that? You got 3 seconds.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, Mason does provide more of a floor. In case
I think we already got a Zoo. I think Zoo is our floor guy. So I think going a Congo pure ceiling with the Zoo floor guy, I thought that's like a good little pairing.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with the Congo. I would have been good with Plumlee too. Plumlee played in a lot tonight in preseason, by the way. They're not playing Mark Williams in preseason at all. So shout out to everybody drafting him in the 13th round earlier this year.
Love it.
Yeah,
he is on a contract year though, for whatever that's worth. So if Charlotte is bad, the bottom could fall out, but we'll see.
That's got to be a bad situation where you're not even playing in the preseason as a rookie, and your draft ADP started at 130 before Establish Run published NBA rankings.
How does that even happen?
I mean,
like fans not on them. It's just very odd. But anyways,
well, nobody else has stuff out, so it's just people drafting rookies and just assuming like there's room here. There's room for somebody to fill the playing time because it's just Mason Plumlee in front.
Yeah.
So that's how that happens. As I'm randomly swapping random Lakers in wherever I can now.
I think I probably would have gone Plumlee for the floor. I mean, I know we have Zubac, but that's only one other person. A lot of stuff can happen. We have Cat, so we're not going to put a Okongwu in our flex. His score is only going to count when Cat gets hurt. So, but I do like Okongwu, and I take him more on DK because we talk about how barren the center position is because everybody's listed as a forward. Like Sabonis, Cat, AD are all listed as forward. Zion is listed as a forward on DK. That's another thing. So like the people I've been asking us for DK rankings, we've given the people what they want. So go on establishedrun.com. You can find the DK rankings, and you'll notice that there's a lot of centers that are pushed ahead of ADP on that website because we put a positional premium on centers on DK versus Underdog where we dock them.
Love it. Dink, I wonder, they're gonna probably go big now. I mean, they had LeBron at the 4, so I haven't been tracking the news too tightly.
Is Damian Jones gonna play?
Oh yeah, they should play both of them.
Yeah, he should be starting. If you guys wanted to hit another one, I'd be down to hit it. I'd be fine hitting another one.
Let's hit it.
I'm down.
I'm down. I need another beer though. Get in that queue, Gallagher.
Go for it while I continue to.
Do you want to just do a $5 one this time because it may take a while to fill, or I'll check out the double dribble real quick.
Check it out.
All right, let's check it and see what we're at. Come on, fetch it faster.
Huh.
Or if you want, you can like reg both of them and then just hop out of whatever doesn't fill first.
That's just taking forever to load here. There we go. 10 to go. So let's come back and check the 5.
Sure.
10 to go. This one will fill faster though.
It will.
So
yeah.
I could pull up the other one we could check out.
Yeah. Let's talk about people's teams. Thank you to the people for filling this. I mean, we can talk about our team as well. Like in terms of our team, it really was the correct decision to take Cat.
Can I pull up the board from here?
Click View Full Draft.
The
bottom.
There we go.
The green button.
I'm out of room here. There we go. Cool.
Oh, okay, got it.
Sorry, I was at the bottom of my screen. Okay,
there you go. So like
our team.
Taking Cat like opened up so much possibility for us at that next turn, because there's a lot of guards in the top of our queue. Like we could have taken one of Fox or Kyrie if we wanted to, or we could take a guard if we're worried about him taking guard wing. I'm sorry, we could take it a wing if we're worried about him taking wing. So like the Cat really opened up the board for us substantially. Like sometimes I'm doing a lot of drafts. Sometimes I'll go like guard and roll the dice that I get a favorable board when I come back, just because I want to have unique combinations and I don't want to build the same structure every time. But like I do think that this is the more flexible build with Cat 11, and it does open up more opportunities to you. And like Cat Dame, I kind of prefer over Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis. I don't know what you guys think about that, but
Anthony Davis already has a back injury, so I would prefer ours.
I mean, the Anthony Davis thing is not an issue.
Okay.
Like they have a back-to-back. Like they have a back-to-back. It's preseason. I don't think it's an issue.
Yeah, like Cat Dame.
He was scheduled to start though. You know, it's
it's preseason. Man.
I'm not adjusting. I'm just saying it's like
they're just not going to do anything that risks him at all in the preseason.
Yeah. He's gonna slide because of this though. Like not like big, but you know.
I don't think so.
I did laugh at that tweet that was like, Anthony Davis is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, that was great.
That was good, man.
That was really good.
So that's what I wanted to stress more than anything else is like the value of taking Cat there. Sometimes I will take LaMelo Ball over Cat if it falls to me at 11 and both are there. But if once LaMelo was gone, I think Cat was definitely the play. And we got Damian Lillard. Damian mother effing Lillard in round 2.
What would have happened if it went? What would happen if it went LeBron Dame? How would we have approached that? Would we have just gone Booker?
Cried first off, and then we would probably taken Devin Booker.
We would have pulled a Booker because apparently Booker's a little upset about losing to the 36ers with some of his tweets and stuff.
Well, he should be. I mean, that was a disgrace, man.
Yeah,
you lost to an Australian team. Is Australian, right?
Yeah.
That's a disgrace.
Yeah.
I mean, I like our
35. They were 35-1 dogs. Or
wow.
Yeah, 35-1. I
saw
someone,
wing.
one of the beats tweeted that out that someone had a ticket on it.
We go wing. We talked about we could have taken Fox or Kyrie instead of one of either Zach LaVine or Brandon Ingram, in which case we would have taken Andrew Wiggins at the next turn. But because we went wing, we played the ADP game. It worked in our favor. We got both Jamal and Bane. So that worked out very fine. And then I'm very happy with the 7-8 turn. I love how that went for us because Poole could smash that ADP And Jabari Smith could win Rookie of the Year, and he's playing 8 games in the finals and 21 in the playoffs. And right now we have our projections where for Jabari guys, it's going to be, how does the usage play out? Because Christian Wood is vacated. All right, you're adding Jabari Smith, and Sengun is moving into the starting lineup. So there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of moving pieces. We don't know who's going to end up soaking up all the usage. It could be Sengun. It could be Jalen Green. It could be Jabari Smith. But you're just like betting, okay, maybe it's Jabari Smith. And, at pick 86, if it's not Jabari Smith, I'm still fine. I got PJ Washington 2 rounds later.
Wyndon Gabriel starting.
That Gallagher, you're just killing my edge over here.
My bad.
That's impressive. Being able to keep track of all the news while doing a podcast.
Yeah, I got a gazillion people on notifications. So I talked about this on either the pod or with Fan today. I think we're over assuming Şengün's role on both ends. I think it's really good, but with the way that they're talking about wanting to play defense, I think that there's a really good chance Şengün doesn't get the upper 20s minutes, and it's just I talked about it earlier in this too. There's just such a ceiling for Jabari, man, and how they want to play. He fits every single quote that I read from Silas is okay, Jabari's going to help that. He just getting Jabari Smith just changed the whole way they want to play. So, yeah, I mean, we're a little bit worried. He doesn't have the buzz yet, getting a little bit now, but I think he could really smash.
Yeah,
we are waiting. We're opening up here. Oh, we are gifted the 101. Let's go.
Beautiful.
In honor of Dink's boy.
Yeah.
We get gifted the 101. Yeah, I mean, with Jabari, really quickly on that, it's a situation like Herb Jones where I feel like this man has to play. He's going to play immense minutes. They need what he brings to the table defensively. And Sengun, to me, I feel like we're projecting him closer to his ceiling than the median, because with Sengun, we're projecting him upper 20s minutes. I have concerns about his ability to rim protect, and that could cost him minutes, and his ability to foul people as well, and that could cost him minutes too.
Yeah.
It's and we're projecting him in the upper 20s minutes already. So I completely agree with that. I'm not off Sengun entirely. I am taking Sengun, but I like Jabari. All right, we took Jokic. Can I get some beer? I'm gonna get another beer, guys.
Go for it. Yeah, I'll add again. The way they want to play, Şengün's not a team defender. He's gonna want to play drop. He gets caught in the middle of rotations all the time. There's definitely a chance he's not closing games, and they're closing with Tari Eason over him. We know the guards they're not going to give up minutes for the guards. They're playing Tari Eason as a straight 4-man that we've seen so far, and a lot of that in Vegas as well. Is again, I'm not trying to bash Şengün. I love Şengün. I'm just trying to make a downside case for him. And Şengün, not playing. Şengün playing 23 minutes, which is in the range of outcomes. Again, just boosts so many of those role-playing Rockets guys like Jabari. So, yeah.
Your boy Jalen Williams is not going to do enough for me tonight, Gallagher.
Oh, no, I'm canceled.
3 for 9 from the floor.
No,
Tough scenes. Only 22 minutes, too. I thought he'd play a little bit more.
Yeah.
7 minutes ago, maybe get subbed back in, but I don't think so.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
Meanwhile, 1% owned Sam Hauser just lighting up.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's bombing away. He's having a good preseason.
Yeah.
How did the spaces go, Gallagher?
Oh, it was good, man. Just no special guests. Although Dylan Betances, he's a big fantasy guy. I saw him in there. Former closer. Awesome, he's a huge fantasy guy. I was gonna invite him on, so hopefully he doesn't mind me shouting him out here. But yeah, he's great. He's a shout to the New York closer scene.
He was amazing when he was at the top of his game. I mean, nobody could get a hit.
Yeah,
I was back when I was playing.
That was great. It was great.
Baseball, man. That's how I first gravitated towards Dink. By the way, I was driving home one day. I was listening to Sirius XM because I had a lifetime subscription on my Volkswagen Jetta, and I bought it for $400, and I had the car for 15 years. Now it's time to upgrade, guys. So I gotta.
Go.
I'm in the market for a car.
You're looking for a Tesla, aren't you?
I'm looking for Tesla. Yeah.
Imagine owning a car.
Well, I don't live in New York City. If I lived in New York City, there's no chance. But I was listening on the way home, this guy named Drew Dinkmeyer pops on the airwaves, and I'm like, damn, like, this motherfucker's sharp. I was like, this guy. And he said, oh, like, follow me and establish Daily Roto. So I go over there, and I was playing baseball at the time. And then I was just getting into DFS and I didn't know anything about basketball. And then one of the guys, Andy Means, who does he does stuff for RG now. He was in the Daily Roto Slack channel, and he's like, dude, like, you would go nuts for NBA. And I'm like, okay, I'll give NBA a chance. And oh my God, absolutely loved. From the first tip, I just fell in love with the game. And especially the NBA DFS and NBA. And yeah, man, I just kept on following Dink, and finally got a chance to participate. So this is a dream come true for me.
So good. Yeah, man. You're one of us for sure. I love it. Just a total psycho in the best way. I mean, in the nicest way possible.
No, dude, absolutely, man. You too.
Yeah. I'm the amount of time I spend reading, and the amount of time I watch basketball and read news is just embarrassing.
Well, we care so much on the NFL side, and that's why we're able to put an amazing product out, with Silva and Levitan and Leone and all the guys. And we care so much. I think that's what makes our NBA product too, is we just care so much about it.
Oh yeah. That's the best. Having the whole team just going as hard as they can is not really you kind of want to do all the time, but we got the off season, man. We'll rage out in the off season.
It's enough already with the off season.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm done. Hawaii was great. Had some fun, hanging out with friends. Went to the casino. I'm a pro poker player now, but let's go.
Did you guys see that the poker controversy? What she called with Jack High against was that cash game player? He couldn't believe it. No. Oh, dude, you got to see this, man. It's crazy. She calls him with Jack High. He's got a 7-8 club. He's got a straight flush draw after the flop and strikes out. But she calls him because she thinks it's full of shit. And she shows Jack High and takes down the pot.
That's insane.
The dude could not believe it, dude. He was his mind was instantly going to cheating.
Man.
It was sick, man. I just had to mention it because you said you're a poker guy.
Yeah. I went to the casino. When it was dead season. I went to the poker room literally 8 times a week. I would go multiple times a day sometimes. I was so into it. It was so good. People there were just old dusty people just dumping their chips off. I'm so in.
Should I look at the board?
Wild board, man. Got boner on the turn, on the 1-2 turn.
You do the 5 with some randos and some wild shit's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We did this impromptu. So Sabonis goes 13th overall. Jimmy Butler goes 16th overall. What is going on? Booker lasts until 20. Oh my God, guys. This is a crazy board.
Yeah.
What's going to come back to us? I guess we'll see. All right.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Do we do the no? He's gonna have to take him.
It's one more.
He doesn't.
Oh my God, dude.
Do we have to do it?
We have to do it. We can't not do it.
Yeah. That's got to be so unique.
We're 1 out of 20,000.
Yeah. So we're doing it, locker room boy.
Dude, we have to do it, man. It's crazy. No one's gonna have this, and it could be the nuts.
I think you have to take Kawhi here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's gonna be plenty of guards,
man, and then you got Kawhi and AD.
I know that was hard to do, Dink, but
no. I would have done the same thing. I don't think there's any other conversation there.
Yeah.
So,
but this is a too big build.
We're done with Jokic, AD in the
no
flex.
One's ever counting. You could take everybody else on the board. No one will count over, and we only have to fill one position. So this is a 2. This is a 7-7-2, most likely, or an 8-6-2.
Nice.
I don't think I've done an 8-6-2. I have done a 7-7-2 with Embiid and Anthony Davis. 1 out of 150, but I've never, ever seen Jokic plus AD. And when something crazy happens, when the opportunity comes knocking at your door, let the motherfucker in. Okay, you gotta let the opportunity in.
He may have a back brace on. He may have his hand taped up. He may have a knee brace on. But let him in the door. Offer him a seat. Give him a nice cold drink, and let him chill.
How many times am I going to see on the play-by-play Jay Williams do something from OKC and scroll down to see if the right Jalen Williams is back in the game? Because it's happened like 6 times in the last 2 minutes.
How are they going to do that? Because they're both JA.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing for jerseys.
Is it going to be JAY dot Williams and JA?
That's how they have it on here.
Yeah.
Well, all their jerseys right now say Williams on them. That's it.
The whole team.
Yeah. Don't forget about Kendrick. Yeah.
Dude, we're going to have to know what his hairstyle's like to know.
Yeah. Oh, J-Dub's hairstyle stands out big time, man. He's got a big fro. And he's baller. Is that dude balling? Yeah, that's Jalen. Then you're good. But,
not balling hard enough tonight. I'll tell you that.
God. Where's Fan at? I need Fan on here to prevent the Jalen slander. Let's see if we got any more board wackiness.
People asking for us to do DK drafts, and boys, you go where the sponsors go.
Yeah. If DK,
we'll talk DK strategy, but we're drafting on Underdog.
Yeah. If anybody in DK is listening and you want to hook us up, let's do it.
There are some things that I like that DK does, and then there's some things that I like that the Underdog is by far the better user experience. But one of the things that DK does that I like is they say what the position is what draft position the guy was selected at on the board or in the pick history or whatever like that. I kind of like that, but overall the user experience is just superior on Underdog. Mm-hmm. The only reason I draft on DK is because there's prize pools there too. And if you're trying to get down, you want to get down
DK, you're going to draft teams that are just way better. Underdog is just a way sharper community than Draftkings.
It is. Yeah, I mean, you're drafting teams where you're taking Monty Morris at 160 overall on Draftkings, and your last pick is Kevin Huerter, and that's not happening on Underdog.
All right, Suns. I'm heavily invested in the Phoenix Suns tonight, assuming that they're going to let their guys go a little bit longer after an embarrassing loss. We'll see if that comes to fruition.
It's only logical.
Have largely nailed the minutes tonight. Had a lot of Boston. Very heavy on Tatum and Brown. Did not play very. I had 0% Halliburton, who was 50% owned. I'd like to thank the field for that one.
Sengun?
Halliburton.
Who was it? Halliburton. Oh, Halliburton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Halliburton. It was their first preseason game, and it was against Charlotte, who got wrecked in the first game. So I think people were really excited, but Carlisle tends to not he tends to play everybody. So I had Halliburton at 20. I think I had Halliburton at 20 minutes. He ended up playing 22, and then I had Jalen and Jason around 27. So I just had tons of Jalen and Jason. Jason played 22 first half minutes and then came out to start the third. I was like, this is incredible.
That's amazing.
We're up.
All right, the board looks fantastic.
This is pretty straightforward here. It's just which guards do you want to take, unless you want to take Middleton. What do you think, Clough?
I kind of would take Middleton, and then either Drew or Terry. I like taking Middleton.
I took Middleton. Yeah. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I just like him
between Drew or Rozier.
Go Drew and just totally leverage the Giannis stuff.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, why not?
Do it. Good with that.
So the story you're telling yourself here is Giannis is not available for the playoffs.
Yeah,
and this team is
party time.
Yeah, and
this seems insane.
Yeah. I mean,
imagine, or if ultimate nuts if LeBron's not available for the playoffs and AD is, it's full pants off.
Yeah, for sure. And I like taking the ADP discount on Drew Holiday there, because Rozier, you can like there's going to be teams that draft Rozier like at 60, at 55, or whatever. But with Drew, like there's going to be fewer teams out there that have like Drew Holiday with the rest of the guys that we have. I mean, actually, this might be one of one. Like, I don't think any team has these 5 guys to start.
Yeah.
CB asks, what's the ideal positional distribution for DraftKings and Underdog?
Okay, so for Underdog, the base build is a 664 build. That build alone outperforms other builds, like outperforms the field, because there are teams that take more than 4 bigs. The data suggests that you should not do that ever, regardless of circumstance. So you want to start at 664, and you want to tweak that based off of how the first few rounds have gone for you. So, like for instance, we've only drafted 1 guard in the first 5 rounds. So we want to tweak it more guard heavy than 664. And like the most guard heavy that I've seen that has success is an 853. You could experiment with 9 guards. I've never done it. I'm curious what the data would say about it. Hell, if you guys want to like mess around on this draft, we could. We could. But I think we should take probably at least 8 in this build. And then on the wing side, like say you have one solid wing that you feel good about and the second one's kind of like shaky, you can draft up to 7. I wouldn't go more than 7 because, as Dink was saying when we were doing the last one, this is a position where it's harder to find that true upside like late in draft, where say somebody goes down and this person has a huge role, because typically these are guys, there's like role players, they're defensive oriented players. It's like that's what you want wings to do in the NBA, is to play defense, and you want to get your offense through your guards and your centers. And so as a result, in terms of the fantasy scoring, it's harder to find upside for wings later in the draft. All right. So like typically I'm not drafting more than 6 wings. Sometimes you draft 7, but that's only on 10% of drafts where you have a really, really shaky start. And 5 wing is definitely viable as well. So I would say your distribution is probably somewhere from like 853, which is like the most guard heavy construction that I would do, to like 673, which is like the most wing heavy construction. And then if you're not feeling good about big, you can certainly do a 664 or a 754. On DK, the centers are scoring substantially less than the guards and the wings. Okay, so I would not want to draft more than 3 centers. I'm like, unless things go really, really bad, because I definitely want to have high access to those high end ceilings at the centers. And then once you do, you don't need to be throwing like 4 or 5 players on your roster that are low scoring positions. All right. So like when I won last year on DK, I had a 673, but the last pick, whatever, it could be 763 or something like that. So like that's to give you a sense of like how I would build rosters on 2 sites.
All right, where are we at with
We are up.
Oh, little hero ball.
We absolutely have to take Tyler Hero here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We're not taking Christian Wood. The conversation is Klay Thompson versus Jordan Poole. They're both Warriors, so the schedule is constant. We get a little bit of an ADP value on Klay if we want it, but
I would lean Poole personally, but I'm good if you guys want to go Klay.
I would lean Poole as well, personally.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So it worked out.
I think Poole has a higher ceiling than Klay. I think part of the reason Klay is part of the reason Klay projects better for us is honestly, it's in scenarios that I think like everything is perfect and they're healthy and like it's not an issue. If anybody gets hurt, even if it's Steph, I'd rather have Poole than Klay. So
yeah, I think we need to get another wing because Middleton's going to be out for the beginning of the season. So we at least need one next turn.
Yep.
Yeah, but Poole does give us a really nice ceiling, and we we did start out with one guard in the first five.
You need some ceiling at that guard spot. You've got tons of ceiling, obviously, at big and wing. You need some more ceiling at that guard spot in bulk is kind of the way that I'm thinking through things.
Yeah, and like we get the ceiling with Middleton, so like we don't need as much ceiling because he's going to come back. So we just need to infill like the beginning of the season, which is fine. Maybe he'll miss a week, maybe he'll miss 2, but that's like worst case scenario. So we're banking on Middleton being that ceiling at the wing position where it's harder to find a ceiling because, like I said, this is a very defensive oriented position. So that's why I kind of like lean Middleton there, and then we went with leverage play with Drew Holiday, but we were lacking the ceiling guard. So very, very happy to draft Jordan Poole there. And like I said, like we all love him. I mean, like Gallagher and I bet him for 6th man of the year. Like the Warriors are going to rest a lot of guys this year. Poole's going to be playing, what would you say, like 29, 30 minutes a night? I mean,
so I think when everybody's healthy, I think Poole's probably going to be around 28, but I think when anybody's out, he's going to be around 33, 34. Yeah. So, everything's going to come in bunches with him.
And that's a perfect guy in best ball. And there's some people that are better in best ball. Like the distribution of their scoring is more favorable for best ball format. And that's why like you should be drafting guys like James Harden, who is like one of the most favorable distributions for best ball, and not Steph Curry, who is like one of the worst distributions for best ball. And we're already low on Steph. But that came through the data last year. And so like an update, there are like guys on the data. So Underdog hasn't published the data for the 2021-2022 season. Once they do, we're going to put a piece up on the site that's going to analyze the data, go through like roster construction, similar to what we did with the NFL content, where we're seeing what worked last year and taking into consideration what worked in 21 and making recommendations on roster construction for 22-23. We haven't done anything like that yet because we don't have the data because DK doesn't publish it and Underdog hasn't published it yet. But once it does, we're going to jump on that. And that's something that'll be part of the draft kit too. It's just something that we can't really move on without the data because the whole piece is analyzing the data.
Trey asks, is there ever a board you can fully punt a position, or do you need to maintain some amount of balance?
You can't punt positions in this format. All right. Because you have to collect scores from all 3 positions. And so if you say, oh, I'm not going to draft any centers, well, you lose.
Yeah. Because I'll add to with football because you only need to start 1 quarterback, 1 tight end. That's so different from like having to start 2 wings, 2 forwards, and a big man. It's just a little different where like you can afford to
let's see that board, Gallagher, while we're yeah. So
because like the lower volatility of the game, like
Smith right in front.
You can't run like an
so I think we have to take Markkanen with one of these picks, and then whatever you guys.
You don't like Laurie?
I don't know. It's the late season down. Well, I guess it makes sense with Middleton. Get a little early season upside, so I'm good with it.
Why do you think there's a late season downswing?
He gets completely taken off the roster, and they just sit him out for tanking.
I don't think he's a good enough player that's going to happen.
Have you seen Victor Wembanyama play?
Yeah, I have.
I know. I'm kidding, obviously, but
yeah,
I don't know. So, what do you guys want to do here? Do you want to do another?
Guys, I would take Trey Jones. I think, and I would have definitely taken Markkanen too because Utah has 8 games in the finals, and maybe they sit him, but like maybe they don't, right?
Yeah.
So
I think it makes sense with Middleton, but I'm good with that. So Trey,
yeah, Trey,
cool.
Yeah. So, guys.
I mean, the other thing you have to remember is like the way that the tanking really matters is if there are like 5 or 6 teams that are all closely ranked in record. If it's just 2 or 3, it's not going to matter because of the flat structure. And I think San Antonio and Utah have a chance to be so bad that nobody else is touching them.
Mm-hmm.
So like the old system, I think it was way more of a concern. Jonathan Condis asks, is there any validity to the guard heavy start from the drafter out of the 5 spot? No, it's real bad. We'll check back in, Jonathan, at the end of the draft with the 5 spots wings, and you'll see where they're trying to get 2 scores from every week, and you'll immediately understand how dreadful of a decision it is to go that guard heavy. I guess you got Tatum. So you do. The scroll up. I didn't see that there was Tatum there. So Tatum, you've got 1 wing spot, but you're going to be scrounging to get that second wing score.
That's insane. It's not like they even took a center in there.
Yeah, and he's got 2 centers, right? I can't see because of the question. He's got 2 centers.
Yeah,
he's got
just 2.
Wood and Draymond Green. So it's tough. You're having to get and taking a 6th guard there, which Marcus Smart is just a disaster. Like the times Marcus Smart is outscoring Donovan Mitchell, McCollum, Fred VanVleet, Jamal Murray, and whoever the 2nd round pick is, it's just like very, very unlikely. And Booker, like very, very unlikely that's happening. So, yeah. Yep, it is a lot of wasted value that can't all play at once. That's exactly what it is.
Can only play 3. Westbrook's looking pretty good. Let's move him up now.
Yeah, without AD.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's all Big Country Reeves, Big Hillbilly.
Man, we are gonna hate the Lakers again.
Oh, really, guys?
I'm so over it.
I mean, I haven't bet anything on the Lakers, but I can take an under on them just because, like, if Anthony Davis plays like what he's capable of playing, and if he stays healthy, like they're going to be a lot better than they were last year.
Mm-hmm. The big thing is if they can make that trade, that Indiana trade, then they're cooking.
So it sounded like they were still mulling it.
I think they're just going to keep waiting out to see what else comes about because that trade's always going to be there.
Yeah.
So their view is they only have 1 trade to make. Mm-hmm. Let's make sure that there's nothing else that comes about that is better than this. I don't think there could be. I think it's the perfect fit for what they're trying to do for right now. But
does Indiana reduce their ask at some point because they don't want to get nothing from Miles Turner?
Maybe. What's on deck here for us, Gallagher?
Okay.
Look at all those guards.
So I think definitely we need to take Dylan Brooks. Memphis Grizzlies schedule in ADP.
Is he there?
He's a guard.
Dylan Brooks.
Guard.
Oh, guard. Oh, we want another guard?
Yeah, we should take Dylan Brooks here.
Okay, cool.
I would go Brooks and Oubre. Personally.
I would go Oubre as well.
Cool.
Oubre is like a guy that veteran best ball. There were times in DFS last year when Charlotte had COVID where he was scoring 50 DK a night. And the opportunity is vacated with Miles Bridges. So that's a guy that's a volatile player with an uneven scoring distribution at a position that we probably needed to take a wing there because we have 5 guards already. So I think Oubre was clearly the play. And it's a guy I've done 207 drafts and my highest exposure at wing is Kelly Oubre.
Look at you.
So I think we took Jordan Poole in both drafts, right?
Yeah. Just a couple of Poole boys.
This tweet, there is build-up stemming from teammates noticing a change in Poole's behavior.
Oh, man.
Because of the contract, though. I think it's understandable.
That's going to be interesting. Interesting to see. I mean, that's team pressure off a championship. A lot of individual guys need to get paid. Like, that's going to be a weird spot to handle the locker room stuff this year.
Yeah. For our sake, hopefully he gets that contract.
So Draymond didn't like that. He was getting a little bit cocky, and Draymond didn't like it.
Yep, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, Poole's always had that kind of swagger since he was a rookie. Even when he was bad as a rookie, like he still kind of had that about him, I thought.
Yeah. Well, it's hard not to have that swagger when you're making some of the shots he made last year, like half court.
Well, he was horrendous as a rookie, though. Or sorry, his second year, he was just like a disaster.
Yeah.
But he's awesome now. Let's scroll down here.
Do you get worried a little bit about that? Like that tweet?
No. It's just funny. Yeah, he'll be all right. They need him. He's way too important for how they want to rest their guys and keep minutes down. So, and he's just insane. As long as he's just, I thought he looked fine. So I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
got 24% Kelly Oubre, highest swing.
Man, this guy on the end has got to be a Kings fan. Takes Boner at 13. Just took Davion.
He could be playing the schedule angle.
Well, he didn't take Fox here.
He got sniped on Fox.
Oh, sniped, yes.
Oh no, he passed on Fox.
He got
sniped. Yeah, he got sniped.
He got sniped.
It's going that way. Yeah.
So could
or he could be a fish. Lonzo pick 133. I'm sorry, Chelsea 515. If you're listening, but that's a fish pick right there. Like Lonzo can't even walk upstairs at this point. How do you think he's going to play basketball?
It's a tough scene.
No Bulls.
I feel bad because like the guy is really impactful when he's on the court. You know, when the Bulls were winning all those games, Lonzo was playing. And I always think about like that draft with Tatum and Markelle Fultz because, you know, I've got the 76ers have been foisted upon me because I've been living in Philadelphia for 15 years.
Great curb episode.
Just the best. I mean, you know, he opens the curtain and it's Susie and he says Fatwa. There's no foisted slugs of
foisted. Yeah, foisted.
Yeah, man. I just like the guy Colangelo. He trades Tatum plus a first-round pick for Markelle Fultz.
Speaking of which, so we got we're on deck here.
This draft just does not like taking bigs. There's your boy Fultz. Fultz again.
But I would take Barton for ADP purposes.
Would you take both?
You can take both.
Yes.
I think I'd take both here.
Yeah. The only reason I would take Fultz or Herter. I would take Barton for sure, and then it would be between Fultz and Herter. But I'm fine taking both.
Both for me.
Both Fultz gives you the ceiling that Herter's not going to give you a ceiling. Herter's
So we're done with guard for a little bit then. You guys
maybe not.
Sure?
Maybe not.
Yeah. Take Fultz.
Okay.
But I mean, we're only going two bigs, so
yeah.
You know, important to remember.
Yeah, I just think the next time we probably are going wing, right?
Yeah, probably take a fifth wing. I mean, you want to have on this team, you want to have 6 wings, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
8-6-2 is probably what you're looking at.
Yeah, 8-6-2. I mean, I have not tried a 9-guard build ever. But if there's any
if wing had fallen differently, I think we could have been there. But
yeah, that's
wing's getting a little gross.
And we can take a floor and a ceiling pick. If we're taking 2 more wings and we're going to go 8-6-2, we can take a floor and a ceiling. So like somebody like Marcus Morris or Covington or Kyle Anderson, those are like a floor play just to, give you more stable distribution of scores. And then you could, get a little bit sexy with like a Sochan or like a Eason or somebody like that. And then like we do need, I think, another guard as well. And I would go upside with the guard spot. I would go with somebody that would benefit substantially from an injury situation, like a high rates player that's a bench player that would benefit from an injury situation.
All right, I feel you. So we won't table talk on it.
Yeah, I guess I gave too much away.
No, we're good. I think I'm speaking your language.
Yeah. Because most likely your 8th guard is not going to count. The only time that they're going to count is like give yourself an opportunity to run good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something that Leone said like 4 years ago that like stuck with me.
Yeah, especially best ball. Like it's literally called best ball. So make sure you're the best at it and your outcomes.
If you're taking 8 guards, and you want to take like Derrick Rose, like why?
Yeah. If you're taking 8 guards, it's probably a 95% chance you're behind the 8 ball. So like you gotta like pull out a nice shot to get through that one.
I'm out here watching DeAndre Ayton just not even try to challenge at the rim.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Okay, that's a little concerning to me because like this is the year that bigs take a leap. I think Dink said something like this on the Phoenix pod as well.
Yeah.
Like, when they're rookies, like they don't really know how to play, but now is like when they know how the game is structured and everything, and like it's got to happen for Ayton this year or it's not going to happen. I feel like I said that with Ben Simmons too.
Vibe check in Phoenix is questionable. Trey asks, are you guys thinking about stacking at all at this point or just taking best available? I don't really think about stacking in best ball generally, I would say.
Well, you're not putting anybody from Milwaukee on your team because there's no one to put. All right, so
I would consider taking Bruce and Denny, I think, or Bruce and Isaac or something like that. Like, I think Bruce is the floor guy. I think Denny or Isaac has some ceiling to him. So,
yeah.
So Bruce for sure.
That's where I'd go.
Bruce for sure. Now, like, what do you guys think Boston would look like if there was an injury? Like, would Derek White start? Would Brogdon start?
I think Brogdon would start.
Actually,
I think Derek White would start, like he did in the playoffs, where his rates were pretty low. I think Derek White needs 2 injuries.
Does it matter to you that we took Will Barton and we're taking Denny? Does that matter to you at all?
Not really.
Okay.
No,
it doesn't to me.
No, it doesn't to me. I'm fine taking Denny. We had the Corey Kispert injury today. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Denny's ADP should be lower than it is right now, probably, given that injury. Oh, I guess like that's why he's popping up at the top of our queue because of that adjustment.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we can get another leap from Denny, but I wouldn't rule it out. He's still pretty young.
He was playing well at the end of the year last year.
His defense got a lot better. He had a lot of really good ball handling situations without Beal, but he's really versatile. I think that Unsel's going to want to have that versatility in his rotation.
I took him
as there's somebody past him.
My last draft in the $5, I took him as my last swing. Just kind of like banking on that ceiling as well. So I like the player is pretty good. I mean,
and we did go wing, so this does open the door for a possible 9 guard for you. Claff.
No, an 8th guard. We only have one left.
Yeah. Now.
We got one. Oh yeah, we got one left. Okay, sorry. God,
I've never actually drafted a 9 guard team. The most that I've gone is 8. But like we only had 1 guard picked in the first 5. So if you're going to do it, like this is the kind of team you would want to do it on. But even then, I mean, it's hard to do.
It's a nice little mixture of guards.
Yeah. You would have to speculate on like 2 injury situations. Like you would have to go like Rubio, Tyus, Campaign, like 2 of those 3 and not draft any if you wanted to do that. Tyus goes pick 179.
Yeah,
Kendrick Nunn 171.
Tyus was the guy that I was looking at there for sure.
So Kendrick Nunn is a guy.
Yeah, Tyus was the guy that you were talking. I was like, we got to take Tyus.
Yeah, Kendrick Nunn was a guy that like I had some last year when and like the year before, like we saw him play really well for the Heat, but like that's because like the Heat like did not have a lot of places to fill usage, so Kendrick Nunn had to fill usage. Kendrick Nunn's path to upside is scoring. Okay. Now, the Lakers have AD, LeBron, Russ Westbrook, Schroeder that can all score the basketball. So I mean, maybe sprinkle a little bit of Kendrick Nunn, but it's not like his context is like it was in Miami.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he shot 40% after the break when he was healthy. The last season he was there on small sample. Like he's, that was when he was very inexperienced. He didn't really try to shoot threes then. So I think that knowing that they don't have enough shooting, if I'm the coaching staff, and I'm like, hey, what do I want you to improve? I'm just telling Kendrick Nunn to shoot 1,000,000 freaking 3-pointers.
I think he could, but even if he becomes that, he's scoring 13 points a game with like two to three. Like it's the same stuff that I was talking about with like Trey Murphy or Herb Jones on like these high usage teams. Like you need a bunch of injuries to take place. So I had two guys in mind. I should say 2 guys in mind for this pick when we were last up. One of them is still there, and then there's one other guy that I would consider taking. Okay, so I would take either Campaign or I would take Sohan.
Okay,
or Sohan.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm down to take him.
Okay,
but I know we want to take an 8th guard.
All right,
so I got Sohan in the queue.
It would either be him or Campaign for me.
I want to take Sohan. Do you guys both want to vote Campaign and vote me out?
I'm not going to vote you out. I'm not going to vote you out, bro.
All right. I click Campaign at the buzzer, so if we got Campaign, we got Campaign.
All right. Now, I guess it's time to come clean.
All right.
Campaign is my number 1 exposure in this tournament.
Oh boy!
Wow.
Yeah.
There's mine. I'm not drafting nearly as much as you guys are.
Yeah. I mean, you've got
I've been hammering now.
You've got more drafts than me done for sure.
Yeah, you bet the plus 1,600 on the Phoenix will miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you should love Campaign.
Yeah, man. I just think that if they trade Crowder, they're looking for guard.
Like my thing, the only reason I'm drafting Campaign is because Chris Paul is like 49 years old.
Oh no, we're small ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's our team. All right.
7-7-2. Okay. Oh, we did get Sochan then.
Yeah, you didn't get Campaign.
Oh, I clicked Cam at the buzzer. So
yeah,
I really tried.
Beat by the buzzer. Claff is demoralized. One less Campaign share that he thought he had.
It's all like right. I have such a hard time I tell myself you should diversify from Campaign. You shouldn't click him, and then I can't stop myself from clicking him.
Oh man, you two are freaking gonna be.
I think the theory works real well, just because obviously, like we've seen him produce in spots when Chris Paul has been down, and Chris Paul's an older player, and like how do things go really wrong? Like how do you get value? That's one way to do it. But yeah.
Tyus is like he's like Campaign, and it's like Rubio too. Like they're all like the same guy, just on different teams.
Yeah, well, I think the difference is the competition. Like Rubio has more competition and less healthy. Tyus, no competition to his role. If Ja gets hurt, he's the guy. We've seen it like 3 years in a row. And then Campaign right now, no competition. If maybe if they move Jay Crowder, maybe they get some guard help, but I don't know. We'll see.
I mean,
Sam Wilson asking how his draft from the 11th spot was. That's the Towns, Trae Young, Fox, Levine. Levine in the 4th is really nice.
That's a great draft, and he fills the flex with a big, which is something that I try to do because big is the highest scoring position on Underdog. And then he gets the ADP value on RJ Barrett for his second wing. That's a phenomenal start, man. Like great job out of the 11. That's about as good as you can do out of the 11th spot. Then what do? He goes Michael. Jabari went 1 pick ahead of Michael. Jabari's been going higher ever since that preseason game where he scored, I think, 21 points. And then he takes Buddy Hield, 86. Okay. And then could you scroll down a little bit, Gallagher?
Yeah, sure.
Brogdon, 107. We took him around there the last draft that we did. Hayward, he gets value on 110. Wonderful value on Hayward. And then he goes Dort, Reggie Jackson, Eason, Jalen Williams, Tyus, Alexei Pokuševski. Great draft. Number 11.
Team. Yeah.
Eason and Poku are the 2 guys that I worry about a little bit. The only reason I worry about Eason is because I'm worried about his playing time. Like they listed him like third on the depth chart, but it's an end of game. It's an end of season play, right? And like we know that like rookies peak at the end of the season, and you do get the playoff schedule on your side. And Pokusevski, you're paying. There's a lot less opportunity cost at the Pokusevski pick than there is at the Eason pick. So that's fine. That's fine. Great draft. What is his composition? Is three bigs or?
Three bigs.
Three bigs, yeah.
Three bigs with two strong bigs. And
two really good ones, yeah.
I think it's a 6-7-3.
6-7-3.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah.
Okay, I probably would have taken a big with a little bit more floor. I'm not sure I would have taken Pokusevski there, but like a Brook Lopez or a Mason Plumlee, somebody like that, where you already have Kristaps and you already have Karl Anthony Towns. So I would have probably taken like a floor big in that last round. But other than that, I mean, that's a small pool.
Poku looks pretty locked in for minutes for now.
Yeah, I just don't know if he's good. And like he's in Oklahoma City doesn't like I don't think they're going to give him like upper 20s minutes.
Well, the thing is, look what happened to OKC at the end of the year last year. I mean, they play 7 guys that are playing, or 5 guys that are playing 45 minutes a night or whatever. Like
they were playing dorks, man. They were playing like Victor. I forgot what his last name was, but they were playing him like 24.
Talking about Vit Krejci?
Vit Krejci.
Yeah. Oh, he played more than that, but like that big, like in the 4-5 guy, the guy that's like just barely an NBA player.
There's a lot of those on.
There are so many of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know if he's in the league, but like I had to project him for like, 24 a night. Like
Jalen Horde, they were playing a ton.
Yeah, Jalen Horde's probably the guy you're thinking of.
He was worse than Jalen Horde, man. Like it was bad. I have to look it up now.
But yeah, that's I think that's a real strong team on the whole there.
I like it.
You're going to be advancing with us. 3 teams, no, 3 teams get out of the first round. I think it's 3 teams.
Anybody else in here that wants a grade real quick?
Hopefully not Team 5.
Yeah.
So Team 5's wing 2 after Tatum is what?
Herb
Jones.
I just pulled up a random Thunder game at the end of last season, and there's one where there's only 6 players that play.
Yeah.
Oh, send it to me in Slack, and I want to put it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of crazy stuff they were doing at the end of last year.
Oh, it was nuts. I was in heaven.
You're a sick
motherfucker.
All right.
There we go.
I just posted the box score in Slack.
All right, cool. We drop it in real quick. There it goes.
Campaign left the game with a hand injury, and Cam Johnson has suffered a finger injury in this game. I am very high on both of these guys. This is very tilting.
Oh God,
Jesus Christ! Well, it makes me feel better about best ball that you're high on him. Yeah. Not that he's injured.
No, I mean I'm very high on these guys for preseason DFS slate tonight. This is a disaster.
Xavier Simpson just dominating usage and dominating the ball.
This is your 2023 OKC Thunder, maybe?
Dude, it's gonna be so ugly.
Oliver Sarr. Like, why are you playing Oliver Sarr? Like, that's
he had a couple big games.
Pokusevski is, why not play Pokusevski more?
He started playing too well.
He's too good, yeah.
That's the challenge.
Yeah.
All right. Any other parting shots here, or are we good to go?
I think that's it. We've soft launched. So the subscribe page is up for the premium content for the draft kit, for the in-season packages. For those asking about props, the props payouts payment structure will be released soon, but we have not released that just yet. But you can see our draft kit and our in-season DFS packages are live. All the rankings for this stuff, along with, points leagues, Draftkings best ball, Underdog best ball, 9-cat, 8-cat, all the season-long rankings that you need are there. Gallagher's top 150, which Gallagher and I were working through a draft today, comparing the machine versus the top 150. We'll probably do some content on that as well before the start of the the draft season, and Mike's got all this content, the deep sleepers, the sleepers and undervalued, the shy away list, fantasy impact from trade candidates, all sorts of good stuff. So make sure.
Claff, you may be surprised to know that the machine is higher on Bane than I am.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow.
So
the
machine's out of control. The machine has Bane as a top 30 player.
Yeah.
We took Bane. We took Bane over Zion in a 9-cat roto league earlier today at pick 38.
Yeah.
I feel like I could. I mean, to the people at NBC and Peacock, I could end up looking like a total idiot for that one, but I think Bane wins that more often than not. But yeah,
you get the drag from the free throw percentage from Zion, right?
Yeah, our team's pretty good.
I mean, Zion wins you field goal. Zion's like prime Shaq. He wins you field goal. He doesn't hurt. He doesn't kill you in free throw, but it's not good. And he also gets you no threes. It's just points in a very efficient manner, and hopefully steals and blocks, which he did at the collegiate level, has not done as much at the pro level. But yeah.
So we've got the machine higher. We've got Gallagher's high on Bane. The machine's even higher on Bane. And then we've got the playoff schedule where he's getting 8 games in the finals.
Yeah.
I mean, I have so much Bane. I'm going to just draft
flag
every time.
plan.
Yeah, he'll be going in my guy draft pretty high. We need to start that soon, by the way.
Plus the gifts. They get the gift game going on.
Oh, come on. So good.
The gift value. Yeah.
4 blocks for Isaiah Jackson today. He was the first sub off the bench as well. For whatever
I am tilting that in a big way because
oh no, let me take that off the screen now.
Right before lock, some Pacers beat tweeted that Goga was available, and I had him assumed out, and then I had to move Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith minutes down slightly, and it cost me a lot of Isaiah Jackson tonight. One thing I'd also note on that Indiana thing tonight that was kind of interesting, they staggered Miles Turner into the second unit.
Yep, I saw that.
Miles Turner's usage is going to be phenomenal if they do that. They staggered him aggressively into the second unit. So it was pretty interesting. They had basically Isaiah Jackson playing with the starters after Turner got subbed, and then Turner brought back with all the reserves with like McConnell. And so if they keep that substitution pattern up, you could see a pretty big spike in usage from Miles this year.
Yeah, I'm just checking my Miles Turner exposure.
It's probably not going to look pretty. I mean, the problem with Miles is like I have to project the fact that he could get traded to a team and have his minutes impacted. So
it's 13%.
It's not bad.
That's pretty high, yeah.
I'm overweight.
Yeah.
I'm overweight. I mean, like guys like that can just crush on Underdog because they use FanDuel scoring and there's so much value for steals and blocks. That's one of the reasons why Isaiah Jackson projects so well for us on Underdog. So, like, I know that they've got a lot of bodies in the front court, but these are high points per minute producer. These are the kinds of guys I want to roster in best ball.
Yeah.
3 for 14, a very cute Kelly Oubre-esque.
Dude, I had like Kelly 3 times the field Oubre tonight, and he smashed. But like 1 board away from the double-double and 3 for 14 shooting, it could have been way, way better.
It could have been like don't tell your wife about the spring shot.
But look at that, Plumlee. Plumlee's playing the similar minutes to these guys. He's going very late in these drafts. I mean,
and he's the number one. If you compare like our projections versus ADP on DraftKings, he's our number one discrepancy. Like, no man have we projected better relative to ADP than one Mason Plumlee.
The challenge with him is if they are really, really bad, he is not playing down the stretch. That's the that's the concern.
He's going to be really good early.
Yeah, but like, do we think Charlotte's going to be really bad? I mean, I think
there's a chance. There's a chance they could be really, really bad.
I took an under on them. I was one of fans' top unders. I'm worried.
They're one LaMelo injury away from being devastatingly bad.
Or Rozier also.
Please, we can't even put that out. Edit that out.
They only have 2 guards on their roster. Like Dennis Smith Jr. is their 3rd guard. Like
I just love Samolo so much that I can't bear the possibility of him getting injured.
Yeah, I mean, Booknet's going to be in the rotation. Looks like.
Please, this is hurting me.
I love Joe. I watch so much of them.
He's got it. I mean, like Clifford's teams have been okay. They can't get hurt because the roster, the way the roster is.
The roster's too thin. That's the problem. I mean, they were a borderline play-in team last year with Miles Bridges. They've added no one, and they've lost Miles Bridges.
Yeah.
Things could get real, and everybody around them, like Detroit got better, like Orlando got better. Like
they drafted Mark Williams.
Yeah,
they're not helping themselves in the draft.
So there's a downside that's real ugly with them.
Yeah, and the signal they're good players. They're bigs. Like I think Kai Jones is going to be okay. We talked obviously Mark Williams. I don't think Book Knight's anything special. So I feel like they're like young players or those guys. So like,
do you guys think Clifford is an upgrade on Borrego?
I don't think it's a difference, honestly. I like Borrego. I thought Borrego got kind of an unfair shake there.
Yeah,
but Clifford's fine. I said this in one of the pods. Like I like just from our perspective as people trying to cover this team and trying to make projections on them. I love Clifford, man. He's really, really open on what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
I get a really good feel for him, so I think it's gonna help.
That's great. Monty was like a godsend. I mean, it only took like 5 minutes to project the Phoenix Suns on any given day. Yeah. He knew exactly what he was going to do, and you were never wrong.
Yep.
So if Clifford, maybe he's like an average or below average coach, but at least he'll give us some certainty in terms of DFS. Yeah.
He was their backup choice.
This was really fun, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go tilt these Cam injuries, Cam Payne and Cam Johnson, ruining my preseason night that I was looking very good.
Oh my God. Are you going to go on camera and stream and tilt it like a crazy person?
No actual tilt space.
No tilts.
No. I will just be turning the TV off and going to bed like the old man that I am.
It sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to turn the TV off and go to bed like before the games close. You know, when you're on projections.
It's only 8:00 here, man. I'm chilling. You guys got to go to bed. All right. We're going to shut it down. We'll be back next Wednesday. I'll probably do a Twitter space to sum up tonight, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. It was fun. So I appreciate everyone stopping in. We'll catch you guys next time.